This is so weird.
What's up, everybody? This is Faith, Josh's girlfriend. And today we're interviewing Josh, actually. So welcome back to Every Inch Counts.
Yeah, I feel weird sitting on this side of the table.
It was my suggestion. I feel like people should get to know you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to a point. I mean, I
To a point.
am interviewing everyone, so I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like if you want people outside of our friend group, if people watch this video and they know who you are, it'll be...
Yeah, because I got a lot of stories. I have a lot. I've done a lot.
I know, I hear it all the time.
I know. It is so weird just letting you be host.
Why?
I'm not used to it.
Well, obviously not.
This is my baby.
We both have control issues, and you're letting me take control.
I don't have control issues.
We both have control issues.
I don't think so.
I think everyone would beg to differ.
I don't know.
I think so.
All right. What you got for me?
Nothing much. We are going to start in how you grew up.
Oh, shit.
It's the beginning.
It's we get deep.
Every inch counts.
We get deep. So, I grew up south suburbs, town called Oak Forest. I don't really care because I'm going to say the high school anyways.
Okay.
And basically it was just me, my parents, and my sister. My sister's 2 years younger than me. You're younger than you.
Mm-hmm.
My younger life was pretty fun before like middle school. Like I feel like if I had to depict my favorite era of school for me, it would have to be like elementary school.
Really?
Yeah, I had probably the most fun in elementary school when it comes to like everything. Like there was no bullshit
Well,
at
no,
that
because
point.
you're young and you don't care.
Yeah, and the field trips, loved the field trips.
True.
I loved all the school activities at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had your field day, you had everything, and then the teachers. I could name every teacher I had.
In elementary school, me too.
Yeah,
they put an impact on you.
Yeah, especially like two of them. One of them being like, it's hard to explain because this teacher like really was not good at teaching math.
Okay.
And it pushed me to get into gifted level math, and I was always in gifted level math when I was going through school.
Smarty pants.
And then I go into this other classroom with another teacher. I'm gonna say her name. Shout out to Miss Sawicki. I think she might have got married. I don't know if that's her name now, but whatever. She was by far the most loved teacher there.
Mm-hmm.
She was the gifted math program teacher. I would go there probably once a week during like math time. That's when we learned. And then somehow like throughout the years, she became like the advanced spelling teacher.
Yeah.
Which was so funny. So on Monday, you take your pre-test. If you got, I think either a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, 100% or a 90, you got sent all the way to her room for Friday's test. And basically it's all bonus. Like you get extra credit for all of it.
Illinois is so weird with their schooling.
It is. Yeah.
We never had anything like that out here in Indiana.
No. And once we get to the high school part, 'cause I know that's probably in there, I'll talk about my sciences in high school. That's pretty fucked up. All right.
So did you do any sports in elementary school, like when you were around that age?
Yeah, I played baseball.
Okay.
I played baseball like my whole life. It's so weird because you know this.
Well, I gotta act like I don't.
Yeah, I played baseball since I was 4 until my freshman year of college. But since we're on the topic of elementary school, I played. I played everywhere. I played the in-house because it wasn't until I was in 5th grade. That's when the travel ball started.
Okay.
So that's when I started traveling. But before that, it was just in-house part-time travel, and they called it like All-Stars, which was after the season. You tried out for the All-Star team. and then you travel pretty much like part-time travel. It's just like an extra half season or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. I wrestled
Was your guys' elementary school up until 5th grade or 6th grade?
5th grade.
Okay, mine was 2.
And my kindergarten actually was the first class at the kindergarten.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was it before with the preschool? Was preschool in a separate building?
No. So, no, we didn't have preschool. We don't have, actually, I don't know any.
We had preschool and kindergarten in my elementary
No.
school.
So they have it now, but
Okay.
when I was there, they didn't have it. So, like, I just went to the park district, and that was my preschool.
Oh, okay. So where was kindergarten at? Just nowhere?
No, it was its own school.
Oh, okay.
So kindergarten was its own school, and I was the first class in there. And then you branch off into 2 different schools for elementary, and then after that, they all come together for middle school. But yeah, first class. It was my teacher actually. It's so cool because I look back like 20 years later, and because of bowling.
Mm-hmm.
Her husband bowls, so I see her every once in a while.
Yeah,
and
I've met her.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, he was really close with my papa, her husband. They worked together. It's so weird, full circle. Like, it cracks me up, like how many people I know and my family know that do the same shit that I do.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking funny. It cracks me up. But yeah, you want to go to middle school?
Yeah, if you want to control your own show.
I'm
sure.
sorry. I gotta take the wheels back a little bit here.
You can go into middle school.
Well, then you transition. So, as I said, you have the 2 schools, they merge into one. Middle school for me was a little rough, especially 6th and 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a weird spot where I didn't know like really who I was or who I hung out with, because at that time in middle school I kind of got screwed and booted out of my
Friend group?
not the friend group. I got booted out of my baseball organization,
Oh.
like the whole organization
What'd
in
you
general.
do?
Nothing.
They just didn't like you?
My dad was the coach. I was in the top 3, and it's so weird how I remember all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like one of the things that started my spark and like not really giving a fuck. So my dad was the coach. He was on the board, the association board. He got booted off of that. Got booted as a coach, and then I'm going to try out for the team. And I knew in the back of my head, I'm like, we're gonna have to go play somewhere else. I saw one of the coaches because they ended up hiring a coach.
Wait, so why'd your dad get booted out of a coaching?
They didn't like him
Oh.
because my dad would
Who
play.
doesn't like Jimbo?
Exactly. My dad would play the best players, and we only lost maybe 10 games in a 50-game season.
Okay, yeah.
And he would just play the best players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't give a fuck. We wanted to win.
So parents were complaining their kids weren't playing.
Yeah, exactly. And then I ended up playing out in, like, the Frankfurt area, and that team... I wish I still talked to some of the guys on that team because I got really close with some of them. One of them ended up being like my baseball buddy, like my baseball brother throughout the years, because between my middle school years before high school, I don't think I played for the same team for 2 years in a row.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Just because you kept bouncing around?
Listen to this. So... my 6th grade season, I played for this team called the Lincoln Way Vipers. Coach, straight up jackass. Like, I don't give a fuck. I was, like I said, I was leading the team in batting average, everything. I was a leadoff guy. Like, I got shit done.
Mm-hmm.
I was a pretty decent ball player, but I was so small, no one really gave me that notoriety.
Benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, nor the notoriety of like me doing stuff that was good.
That's a big word.
Yeah. And how can I put it? Basically, he told my dad that yeah, don't have him try out because he's not making the team. We don't want any more bullshit hits. I was always fast.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting infield singles and all that shit, like, throughout my whole career.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was known for.
Mm-hmm.
So I got booted off that team. Then I went to Midlothian Braves. I didn't even get into, like, school. I'm just realizing we're just talking about baseball
It's okay.
bullshit.
Keep going.
Midlothian Braves, that was one of my favorite teams I played for. The only reason why the team disbanded is because we couldn't get returning players back.
Okay.
So we had to disband the team. I met some pretty cool people who I'd say like 10 years after we made a podcast, and then that didn't go through.
Yeah.
That fucking failed.
I know.
And then after that year, went to Team Victory, which at this point I was so done with people. I was 14 years old, so done with people. As soon as someone fucking opened up their mouth and tried to come at me, oh, they were lucky they didn't get jawed. I never punched anyone, but my fist was always clenched. Like, I was like, my head was on a swivel.
You're just an angry child.
And these kids are fucking dicks.
I'm sure you were a dick too.
They were they were. I remember one time they were making fun of me before a game because I had like these. I don't know if you know Oakleys, the sunglasses. Well, we couldn't afford fucking Oakleys.
Yeah.
And my dad would just buy all the fake ones.
Yeah.
Oh, but I get chewed out by these guys because I'm not wearing traditional official Oakleys. So these fuckers would just make fun of me about like stupid little shit like that. And after a while, I'm just like, bro, step up. Like, and these guys, I'll be honest, this team wasn't really that good.
Okay.
But the star players were me and my buddy Jimmy, which I want you to meet.
Okay.
Because when I tell you, like, he was literally my brother for fucking, like, 4 years.
Preference, I've only met one of Josh's friends in person.
Yeah, that is true. Well, he lives up in Wisconsin.
Majority of your friends live far away from you.
Yeah. He moved up there, and it sucks, but whenever he's in town, I'm trying to see what he's up to, because low-key miss him. Because me and him were really tight.
Yeah.
But after that, let's go into the school years.
Okay.
Now that's off my soapbox. All right.
So middle school.
Yeah. Middle school, didn't really know where I was. Like I said before, pretty good with my grades. Except for reading and writing, I still can't read and write to save my life.
You can write.
I can write, but I can't read. I can only read with pictures, like comic books. You know this.
He likes manga.
Yeah.
Manga,
Yeah,
however you say it.
I like manga. If you guys don't know what manga is, it's just Japanese comics that have a continuous story. I mean, traditional American comic books have a continuous story, but not like these. I don't know. I'm drawn to them. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because you read them backwards, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
We can get into it more later, because why you got into it is going in with us.
Yeah. Get that shit out of here. But I think this is the reason why I'm the interviewer, by the way.
Because you ramble?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a solid, clean slate over here.
Wow. Middle school, babe.
Okay, so didn't know really where I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was always like the butt of the joke because I was always the smallest, and they were really shitty years.
Okay.
My school grades were good, but everything else, you know. It didn't really get kind of good until about like 8th grade. And then I dated some chick in 8th grade for a solid amount of time, if you talk about middle school.
How much time was it?
Like 5-6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her friends fucking hated me. Like, they wanted me dead. Like, one of them fucking bit me in the hallway.
Vampire.
Oh, it was so bad.
Okay.
I had a bruise, like for real. Like I was assaulted.
She gave you a hickey.
No, she gave me a fucking bite
Where was it?
on my arm.
So werewolf more than vampire.
Yeah, it was fucked up anyway.
Okay.
Any other reason. But yeah, then high school comes around. You know, I decided I wanted to pick up a new sport. Well, I played football.
I was going to say, where is football in all this? Because I know you played football.
Yeah, in middle school and 5th grade, I played flag football, which then transitioned to me playing tackle football in freshman year of high school.
Okay.
Didn't really like it that much. I loved playing the games, but practicing, not my thing.
Okay.
Didn't like it. If I was able just to go and show up and play games and run routes, and because I was a receiver.
You still have to practice.
Yeah, I know,
You
but
have to condition.
I was in shape.
It doesn't matter.
I just didn't like practicing. And then here comes the new sport that took over my life completely is bowling.
Let's go back. Wait, let's go back to middle school because
What?
now you're jumping ahead.
What do you mean jumping ahead?
Did you start YouTube making videos in middle
yeah,
school?
I started making videos.
This is why I'm controlling this.
Yeah, I started making videos in middle school.
Okay.
And I had a channel. I think it's still up, but I don't think there's any content on there. It's called 9 Bogey Plus 1.
I thought you looked it up when we first started talking to show it to me or something.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything on there.
I can't remember.
I would have to look it up again.
Okay.
But yeah, 9 Bogey Plus 1.
Look it up.
Oh, jeez. And then I made... Oh, my God. I haven't talked about this at all. I made this... If you could find this shit, I will be impressed. It's called... The channel's called Lego Minecraft Creator.
Okay.
I'll have to show you this because I haven't
Okay.
shown... I might have shown you and you just don't remember.
You showed me Minecraft videos, but I don't remember what they were.
Okay. But if you hear a little adolescent boy that has a higher pitched voice than me, but in the same tone, yeah, that's fucking me. I decided, because growing up, I was always at my grandparents' house, and then they had a whole bunch of Legos. And at that time in middle school is when Minecraft first started coming out for like the 360.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed. And I found these Legos and I'm like, you know what? I want to make some stupid YouTube videos. And I'm talking bare bones, like just shoot it, talk, post it. Like
Yeah,
no
that's
there
all
was
you
no
did.
there was no edits.
I've
No,
seen
nothing.
majority of his younger videos because it was his favorite thing to show me when we first started talking.
Yeah. Straight flex. But yeah, that Lego Minecraft Creator, that's what started that little run. There was about like 21, 24 videos, something like that on there.
So what did you do on it?
I literally like didn't even build anything. I finished the build and then I had the camera on there and I'm looking at it through the camera and I'm just talking about it. I'm like, oh, this is an iron ingot. You could get this by smelting an iron ore. Like stupid shit like that. And I did like a yellow flower. I go, you could go and pick this up in any plains biome or like some
So you're
stupid
trying to like
shit.
be like a Minecraft like information box of like what to do in Minecraft.
Yeah, so there was a YouTuber, and I don't know if he still makes stuff like that, but I got it off of him. His name was Zazie Nambies. It was Nazi zombies, but flipped, and he would build Legos. He would build replicas.
I don't know how I
life-size.
feel about that name, but
It was zombies back in the day. That's why.
Okay.
But he would build life-size Call of Duty guns.
Okay.
And then he transitioned to Minecraft when Minecraft first came out. And I was obsessed with it. You'll notice that I get obsessed with a lot of shit. But that's why I did that.
okay.
But the 9 Bogey Plus 1 stuff was literally the dumbest shit in the world.
So
And then I got kind of bullied and I deleted pretty much all the videos on there.
where's the chicken nugget challenge one? Is that on Bogs Life?
That's Bogs Life.
Okay.
So before Bogs Life became Bogs Life, it was your boy Bogs.
Okay.
And that was in high school when I started that.
Bogs Life is Josh's other channel. He hasn't posted on forever, but
Yeah,
look at
I gotta figure out what I want to do because I got to do something on it. I just don't know exactly what I want to do.
No, yeah.
But I created Bogs, or Your Boy Bogs. So weird to say because it's so long ago. I created that, and honestly, I think I was just doing like random one-off videos and like barely editing them. I used to take my mom's iPad and make videos, and at that point, iMovie existed, but you had to pay for it.
Okay.
And
I
never wanted to ask my mom for if I could buy a $5 app.
That's a lot back then. It really was.
That's a lot of money for an app in
Yeah.
2014, 2015. So I never asked. So I just post them straight up because at that time, this is when like the iPods and the iPads, they had the YouTube app already in there and like that TV screen looking icon. And through there, or not even, I think it was through the camera app or the gallery app, you were able to just YouTube, and I just upload them that way. It was so fucking dumb, and I wish I had the knowledge that I do now about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I did back then, because it would have made one hell of a difference.
But I mean, you were starting out. I feel like you making those videos yourself, you wanted other people to see it. That's how early YouTube started.
Yeah. But now since we're talking about the social media stuff, I want to go back and talk about, athletics in high school and stuff like that.
I just didn't want you to skip over your beginning YouTube career.
No. We'll keep going. So the first video that was like an actual video was the chicken nugget challenge. So I decided one day, I'm like, and I'm a broke high school kid, not working.
Like, this is like freshman, sophomore year.
No,
right?
this is junior year.
You look so young in that video.
Yep. That was my junior year. So I was 17. I was broke, was not working. Somehow I had like $10 on me. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go to McDonald's and let's make a video. I've been watching Matt Stoney. I've been watching all the highlights for the food eating contests and all that shit. And that's when mukbangs started.
Mukbangs?
Yeah. That's when those things started popping off like really big.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. But I should have went in with a strategy because I decided I wanted to double deck 2 nugs.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of the video is seeing how fast I could eat 20 nuggets.
If you remember the chicken nugget challenge, you have to do it in a certain amount of time or time yourself to see if you're the fastest.
Yeah, so I just timed myself. So I'm double decking these nugs, right? I'm downing them. I down 2 because double deck. And then I'm not even done with them. Like not even halfway chewed. I take 2 more, dump them in there. And this is what makes the whole video, by the way. And I start choking. I start like gagging, like dry heaving. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I can't get this down. All of a sudden I like baby bird myself.
It's so gross.
I baby bird myself and I'm like, I gotta finish this fucking challenge. Whoa. And I put it all back in my mouth. And then what really sold the deal on that video is it had no views, right? And then all of a sudden, my one buddy who actually was in my kindergarten class, I've known him for years.
Okay.
I look at his phone, just peeping, and I see someone like do exactly what I did, but just with different food. And I'm like, wait a second, play that back. He's like, why? I go, I think I know what the fuck that is. He goes, how? I go, do you not know that I can remember what video I fucking made? So, a couple minutes go by. I see another one. And I'm seeing it on my phone now. And then I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I go on the YouTube app on my phone and I'm like, the fuck? It went from fucking 20 views to fucking 800 to 1,000 views. I'm like, what the fuck? Every motherfucker in that school, or at least in my class, watched that video. And I'm having people coming up to me like, yo, you need to make another video. You got to make another video. And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm not going to do another food eating video because I got no more money.
Okay.
And I was like, this is when I created something that was funny as fuck. And it actually stuck for a little bit. It was the dumbbell dabs in my in my workout video where I had this shirt that I had in 6th grade, an Abercrombie super tight shirt that I shouldn't have been wearing, and then I'm lifting your mom's like 5 pound, 2 pound, or 1 pound weights, like getting a workout in, and then I started doing these dumbbell dabs, and in the video, I fucking smacked the shit out of my forehead with the dumbbell accidentally. It was just fucking crazy.
Okay.
But then I just started making stupid videos, and then that's pretty much it. Like, just, well, my favorite video I made was my state video for bowling, which we can transition now
but
into.
we can go back to high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So from that, I'm gonna make my own segue. We're gonna go to the bowling. So my freshman year of high school, we're turning back the clocks now. I decided that I wanted to start bowling. Odd sport. It's like golf. Odd sport.
Hey, I bowl.
Yeah, that is true. That's.
I started bowling since I was able to pick up a bowling ball when I was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I only started when I was like 14. So, and this is a whole big story. So my freshman year of my freshman year of high school, I decided I wanted to bowl. And thank God I did, because that was the only thing I was able to do for a solid 6-8 months. So when I first started bowling, I was not good at all. I was switching between one-handed and two-handed. My coaches were getting frustrated with me. I was damn near like not going to be on the team next year if I didn't figure out what the fuck I was doing. And what really got me to get serious with it is in late November, early December, I had to go to the doctor because earlier that summer I got hit in football and my jaw blew up. Like, it was fat. And we thought maybe I broke my jaw, but I was able to move it no problem and all that stuff. So we went to the doctor and they're like, yo, we need to get some tests done. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? Like CT scans, x-rays, all that shit. And then they found some mass in there. And at that point, they didn't know if it was a tumor or a cyst or like a malignant tumor. That's a big word.
Good job.
So on December 23rd of 2013, I had to get a biopsy done, which kind of like changed. No, is that what happened first? No, what happened first? So the biopsy was in December 23rd. That's when that happened. But I think 2 weeks prior, I was told just by the x-rays that my jaw was paper thin, and they had no clue how I didn't break it, like shatter it playing football. So I had to cut out everything. No baseball. I wasn't coming back to play football. And that just made it even easier to say no.
Yeah.
And then I decided, you know what? I can only bowl. So I'm going to take this as serious as I can. Switch to two hands. But then after the biopsy, I was hurting. It was bad. The pain medicine made me so sick. I was throwing up. Imagine throwing up with your mouth is full of stitches.
I can't even imagine your mental state at that point.
It sucked. And then it took, because of the holiday, because of Christmas and the New Year's, it took 3 weeks to get the results.
What were you even thinking during that time?
I don't remember. I was just like, hopefully everything's all good. I wanted it to be a tumor.
Why?
Because if it was a cyst, I would have had to have a tube.
Yeah.
All like connected to my body for months at a time.
Mm-hmm. They gotta drain it somehow.
Yeah, and I did not want that. I would have rather had a tumor because they could just take it out.
Yeah, but a tumor is an extreme surgery.
Yeah, but I would rather have that than a tube in going through my body for months at a time. It just would have been uncomfortable, and I would have just felt gross every day of my life. But then they find out it's a tumor, and it was, like I said, it was killing my jawbone. They said it was from the hinge. So if you know your hinge of your jaw, that joint right there, until 3 teeth from the back.
Mm-hmm.
So what they had to do is they had to schedule a reconstructive jaw surgery to get it out of there. So what that means is they took bone from my hip, a bone graft from my hip, brought it up to my face. 6-hour surgery, 15 years old. And not only did I have to get all this removed, I pretty much had to relearn how to walk for a little bit because of the hip.
Yeah.
Like, not only was I in pain here, I was in pain here. And not only that, like, my face was blown the fuck up. Like, I looked like I got stung by a million bees.
Did you have friends come and visit you during the recovery process?
Hell no.
You didn't have to be sassy about that question.
And actually, I was dating a girl at that time. She dumped me because I looked ugly.
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, it was rough.
How long was your recovery after the surgery? Like, how long could you wait until you went back to school?
2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, I went back after 2 weeks, and then I couldn't play baseball until like that May, because I still played baseball. I was considered the team manager, but then
bench warmer.
But then the coach saw me play, and they're like, "Yeah, we kind of gotta play you." Plus, I talked to head coaches and stuff because I was going to things.
Yeah.
But couldn't play. It just sucked. And luckily, I had people in the school talk to different people. They knew who I was, what kind of ball player I was, so I was kind of locked in.
How did we go from draw to baseball when I asked about your recovery process?
That is a recovery process. So when the one thing I think saved my body was actually when I played for Team Victory. I also played my 15U years. That's the only. I only played for 2 teams for 2 years, and that was the first one. We had the speed and agility training, and I'm like not even a month out from surgery, and I'm doing 40-yard dashes. Like, I'm limping doing these, like, and my dad made sure I was like super careful. I had to get one of these jaw guards, and I had to wear it like for every drill. Like, even if I'm like, imagine wearing a baseball helmet for fielding ground balls. Like, my dad made me do all that shit.
Well, your parents went through a lot with you in that surgery.
Well, yeah.
And everything. They want to make sure nothing happened to you.
And then I was running speed and agility and doing all that stuff. And I think that's the reason why, like, it might sound like I'm boasting, but I'm really fast. Like, I'm really good on my feet.
He's been saying this for forever. I don't think I've ever seen you run fast.
I'm pretty fast. But I literally blame that on me training, probably when I shouldn't have.
Okay.
Because I think I might have supercharged my hip. Because my explosion off the top is fucking fast. But then go down the line, I had 2 more surgeries. One of them to put in posts for my fake teeth, because I had to get a bridge. And then my 4th one, which another one that I got really sick with. 2 out of the 4 I got really sick. It was my biopsy and my last one. My last one is they took out pretty much like 90% of the metal plate, and then they took my wisdom teeth out because they said that it was a wisdom tooth gone wrong. Because in my X-rays, I only had 3 wisdom teeth.
Yeah, I've seen the X-rays.
So that correlated with that, pretty much made me who I am. Shout out to everyone who reached out. I did have some people reach out. I had a
Okay.
couple teachers be like, hey, in the morning, if you don't feel like seeing people, don't feel comfortable like hanging out in the hallways or the cafeteria, just come in my classroom, come hang out.
That's sweet.
Yeah, plus she was my first period class, so like I would just hang out in there, talk.
Yeah.
But let's fast forward. So the jaw surgery was my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fast forward to my senior year, because that's when the fun shit happened.
You want to skip over sophomore and junior year?
There really nothing happened. Honestly, nothing fucking happened.
Okay.
I passed all my classes. I was all conference varsity by the time I was my sophomore year. I was my first all conference year.
So he did do something interesting. You just didn't want to say it.
I shot my first 300 the summer going into my sophomore year.
Wow. Nothing happened in sophomore and junior year?
Not really.
You just said two things.
Junior year, I had an awful bowling season, and then I was fighting for a starting spot, which I basically had 50% of the time for baseball.
Did you wrestle in high school or
No.
middle school?
Middle school.
Oh,
Or
okay.
no, not even middle school. It was elementary school. I got an ultimatum when I was younger saying, you got to pick baseball or wrestling. I said, fuck you, I'm playing baseball.
Okay. Sorry. Go on.
So my senior years was probably the most fun I've had in high school. I mean, it's going to sound weird. I had a girlfriend the whole time.
Why does it sound weird?
Same girl the whole year.
Why is that weird?
Because I'm talking to you about it.
Well, it's not like we haven't dated people before we started dating, babe.
That's true.
It happens.
I was all conference for the third time. So all 3 years my freshman year in bowling, I was all conference on the first soft side. And then the next 3 years I was all conference on the varsity side. And then here comes state. Our team made it to state the first time. They might have made it to state one time as a team before us. But everyone tanked. And I was the only one after day one. Because you could either make it with the team or you can make it individually. Like it's...
Yeah.
Well,
Indiana wasn't that different. It was pretty much the same.
No, yeah, it's pretty much... Yeah.
It is the same, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So... I'm burping. So
we had dinner before we did this. So.
Yeah. I was in fourth place after day one, and then I ended up taking third. So I was all state, and I lost to a PBA bowler named Nate Stubler, who broke the fucking IHSA record, averaging like 268 for 12 games. Like, it was... You put up stupid numbers, my guy. Like, it was ridiculous. So basically, how it was him and then another guy who was averaging like 240, and I averaged 228. So basically, everyone was bowling for third place, and I got that.
Look at you.
And then fast forward to the spring, baseball season was so much fun. I was like the outfield captain. I was the main squeeze in center field. Loved every second of it. We went to Gulf Shores, Alabama. We traveled all the way down there and played. We probably had the best team that the schools had since they took second in state, like in 2012.
Okay.
Or 2008 or something like that. It was a while. I think it might have been like 2 weeks after we went to Alabama. My one coach, shout out Coach E, he would just say win the day. And ever since we said that, we didn't lose a game until the sectional final. And I'm talking like there was a solid like 2.5, 3 months where we didn't lose a game. We were on fire. And then I ended up being all conference, which I had no clue that was going to happen.
Okay.
And the best part is like the second game of the season, I'm not known for hitting homers like over the fence. I fucking piece one.
Okay.
If I told myself if I could hit one home run over the fence in my career, I'm content.
You're set for your life.
I'm set for life.
Okay.
I fucking hit a moonshot. And then what I do the next at bat? Fucking strike out. And then we lost the game like 11-1.
Yeah, you got your home run though.
It was a bomb.
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, of course, like that's so weird how like out of all people on the team, you hit the first homer of the season because we had a really good squad. Everyone was hitting bombs.
Yeah.
But that will be part of me for the rest of my life. Like that.
It's a core memory.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It's weird to like people will be like, oh, but you know, you're saying you peaked. I'm like, nah. I'm like that's one of my favorite memories of baseball.
I feel like
right
you
there.
haven't peaked.
And then I played with shout out to my buddy Nicky. He's gonna eventually come on the pod. I played with Nicky and the Crunch crew.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I played with them, but I've known him way longer.
Oh yeah, I know you've known Nicky for forever.
Probably the most fun I've ever had on a baseball team.
Okay.
Like it is literally a coin flip on the Braves season and the 2 seasons I spent with Crunch where I had the most fun. Like it was just solid baseball, especially the first year with Crunch. We just had a solid crew. We won a lot of games that we probably shouldn't have.
I feel like team morale always makes it more fun.
Oh, and these guys have been playing since they were like 9-10 together. Like they are super tight, and they welcome me with open arms, and we're like, "Yo, we know you anyways."
Yeah.
And yeah, it was all said and done. It was really fucking fun.
You wanna get into college?
Shit. Yeah. Okay. So I ended up going to St. Xavier University because I wanted to, one, bowl, try to play baseball, and kind of stay close to home because my grades weren't good. My grades...
It's close to your house, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was in like the 3rd percentile or the 2nd percentile for like money for scholarship for grades.
I didn't go to college, so don't look at me like I know anything.
So I couldn't really... I only got like an 18 on my SAT or ACT.
Okay.
And I took it twice, and I got 17 twice, and they just rounded them up.
I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, it is. They take your highest score out of all the ones you take, and say you get like a 19 one time, and you get like a 17 one time. They're taking the 19.
Well, yeah, but you said you got 17 twice.
Yeah, but the numbers changed. So like, I probably got like an 18, or say like one time I got a 18 on everything. And I got a 17 on everything. That 18 is what I got because or like I'll get 2 of them were 17s, 2 of them are 18s, and then vice versa for the other ones.
Okay.
It's going to be 18.
Okay.
So I couldn't really get into that many good colleges. And I was more so looking to bowl because I knew there was going to be more scholarship money for me bowling than playing baseball. I ended up doing both. Turns out my old coach actually lived 4 houses down from me at the time. So the baseball coach was like, dude, you live right down the street. Like, and you're an Oak Forest kid. He was an Oak Forest guy. So, he was like, come on aboard. He goes, I ain't got any more money for you, but come on, come out and play. I know you're a pretty decent ball player. I've watched a couple of your games. I'm like, okay, cool. And that's how I started at St. X. He told me, go talk to, shout out to my old coach, Coach K, told me to go talk to him. And then he was like, yeah, you need to go talk to him so you could get some scholarship because I got nothing to offer you. I'm like, okay, cool. So I went to him. He saw me bowl, and at that time I was struggling. I was just finally like about to reach that hump up the tracks again.
For bowling?
Yeah. And he was
He's,
like...
Josh is also a cheater. He's a 2-hander.
Yeah, I bowl with 2 hands. But he only offered me like a little bit.
Okay.
And me and my dad were like, yeah, that's not happening. I'm not going to the school if it's for this much. Mm-hmm. Then I placed 3rd at state. Moved up to double. So I'm like, okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
He goes, what'd you do to like get better? I go, dude, I just got my shit together. I knew I had it. He goes, really? I go, yeah, dude. I was focused on other shit. Like when I was growing, like fall back, I had a hard time focusing on two sports at once.
I can see that from you.
So like, if I was good at baseball, if I was having a rock on season of baseball,
Yeah.
that summer or whatever time for bowling, I fucked up. Like I was so bad. I created such bad habits, but then it was vice versa.
I feel like when you set your mind on something, that's the only thing you focus on.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's why.
Yeah, and so I sign, I'm admitted, and then my freshman year was a little rocky because one, I got dumped. The high school girlfriend dumped me.
Did she go to a different college? Is that
She was
why?
a year younger.
Oh, so she just didn't want to date a college man?
Well, there was kind of like some bullshit with it.
okay.
Yeah, she was
You don't
on.
have to talk about it if you don't want to.
I mean, it's ancient history now. It's not gonna make any big deal. Like I got offended because she was on some dance court.
Okay.
I think it was homecoming court with another dude, and they were like best friends, and I was immature and an ass at that time
you
too.
were jealous?
Well, I was like, well, she didn't want me to go. That's what put me off the edge. She didn't want me to go, and then I see that shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay.
It was fucking bullshit. But I was a little bitch too. I was fucking crying.
You're allowed to cry over relationships.
Well, it was my first like real relationship.
I know.
And
just
then,
because you're a man doesn't mean you can't cry.
Oh, and then I went through a fucking shit storm. Like I was like, I lived like I didn't give a fuck for the rest of the school year.
You keep saying that a lot.
What?
Like you live like you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's kind of like that was my motto growing up.
Okay.
Honestly, it's not like that now, but growing up,
no.
it was like I gave zero fucks.
Mm-hmm.
Met two of my closest friends, John and Brian. We kicked it off fucking right off the bat, getting in some shit right away, getting trashed. We partied a lot my freshman year because somehow they got the big dorms as a freshman. So we were partying in there. And I was the one who always had to supply the alcohol because I don't know why I had the alcohol all the time. Maybe it was just like leftover shit from my house. I threw parties at my house all the time.
Yeah,
because it was the
closest.
closest. It was the closest to the school, and then bowling was really good. Then another year down the line, my sophomore year, I started dating this other girl, which we tried dating in like January of the year before. It didn't work out. And then that summer we started talking again, ended up dating. We dated for like 8 months, didn't work out. It was not we just weren't compatible. Like we found that out the hard way. And
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
It's always life lessons.
Yeah. And then bowling took a decline again. So
Are you still doing baseball at this point?
No, I stopped playing baseball after my freshman year. One, I threw out my back.
Yeah. Okay.
That was awful. I couldn't jump, couldn't run.
You had to do physical therapy, right?
I had to go to physical therapy. They thought I tore my tricep, which was so fucking stupid now that I think about. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. So I stopped playing baseball, focused solely on bowling. I'm like, I'm sitting the bench anyways. Like there's no way I could train with you guys in the winter. The bowling season's too long. So I transitioned to just be a bowler. Well, my sophomore year, fucking lights out bowling. I never won a tournament, but all the tournaments that I went into outside of college bowling tournaments, I placed no lower than fourth place. So I either placed second, third, or fourth.
Okay.
I never won one.
Hey, always room for improvement.
It was so fucked up. I was in the finals for probably like 5 tournaments in a row. Still never won. But, oh no, I did win a tournament. But it was just like a 6 or 5 gamer for a junior gold
A
spot.
win is a win.
I fucking dominated. I won by like 200 pins. I was lights out. But my junior year, I took a decline. And this is what happened in high school too, so I kind of called it like my junior slump. And I really was not with it. Like, people were pissing me off. I was borderline about to be like, yo, I want to transfer. The only people that kept me at the school were my buddies, John Ryan, and then he was a freshman at the time, my buddy Chris. We were called the curfew crew because we got caught smoking weed on a... Well, we didn't get caught smoking weed. We got caught past curfew, but the whole story was we got caught smoking weed on the top of a parking garage when we were in Vegas. And you're not supposed to be on the top of parking garages in Vegas because people think you're going to jump.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we walk down, we're blazed. Like, we're like, yeah, man. Yeah. We were fucked up. We walk down, and it's like a fucking movie. We think the coast is clear, and all of a sudden, shout out Jeff, because he's the one who fucking caught us. Here's us. Here's him. There's a hallway like this. We make it past the first turn. We bump into him in the corner. And I'm like, are we fucking serious here? And I'm trying to be serious, but I'm so fucking high at this point.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, fuck it. We ball. And then, so the whole trip we had to put away or take out and put away all the bowling bags in the vans that we brought in, but we did that anyways. So we didn't get into trouble. But that trip was fun. And then senior year rolls around, or before senior year, we were on our way to sectionals my junior year, on our way to Smyrna, Tennessee. Then my coach gets the call. Send everyone home. It's canceled. COVID.
Yeah, you had COVID
At that point,
halfway through your senior year? Or like end of senior year?
No, it was junior year.
2020? You graduated in 2020.
Graduated in 2021.
I'm a bad girlfriend.
Yep. So at this point, too, our team was so hot at the time, and we had team morale. Like, our team was fucking tight. We thought we had a chance of making it to nationals as a team and all that shit, but we had to turn around, and then COVID started, and then bowling took another hit to the side, and then I'm like, let's start TikTok. That's when Bogs Life really became Bogs Life.
Yeah, you had nothing else to do, right?
No, I really didn't. Other than my routine was so fucked up, though. Now I'm thinking about it.
It really was.
It was wake up, smoke, write my script for my video, for my TikTok, smoke, shower, smoke, shoot the shit, smoke.
What did I was doing in 2020? I was working.
Yeah, I wasn't.
2020.
I wasn't working. So I would make these videos, and if you guys know me, you guys probably seen them. I still post on my TikTok, except they're just Pokemon drawing videos.
They're almost done.
They are almost done. But I would make voiceover videos that it would remind you of like teenager posts from Tumblr from back in the day.
It gave like a slight Vine energy.
Yeah, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and then I try to change it up. I feel like I'm shadow banned on TikTok.
Why?
There should be no reason why I posted a Pokemon drawing
I see.
every day for 138, 39 days, whatever I'm on now, and one of them reached over 200 or over 300 views. Like, that's just...
See, I don't go... So Josh's page, he posts Pokemon as Bogs Life.
Yeah.
When I don't go on his page to look at them when he posts them, I see the drawings before they're posted anyways, but I wait till they come on my For You page so I can boost the algorithm of it. Because I would rather me get it popped up on my For You page than me going to the profile, because then it's never going to show me anything.
Yeah, that is true. But when I was making those videos, I had so much fun. Like, my buddy John, he was like, dude, I don't get it. Because I had one video that like didn't make any sense. It was like I've turned it into like a 5-parter, and one of them got taken down off of TikTok, so it's like 5 parts missing one in the middle. It blew the fuck up, and John, he's just like, he's gonna end up being on the pod, but he was like, why is that going viral right now? It was at like 100,000 views within the first day.
I feel like COVID was such a weird humor time for everyone.
COVID was my peak in life.
No, it wasn't, babe.
Besides you? Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
It was your peak that you thought at your time, but I feel like you have so much more to do.
Oh, I lived my best life during COVID. Like, I was going content crazy. I tried doing like video game videos, but if I had the setup...
You started streaming in 2020, right? Or
No. I mean, I was always on and off streaming, but it really took a turn in 2022.
Okay, we can go back to 2020. Sorry.
But what I'm saying is that was, at that time, I was living my best life. You know, I'd wake up, I could be creative every day. I'm making TikToks. I'm making little YouTube videos here and there. They didn't really do anything, but the TikToks did, and it just boosted my confidence that I could actually do this shit.
Yeah.
I just hit the fuck out of the table. And it really showed that, like, I could really move a message. That's why I wanted to start a podcast at some point, and we could transition now until, like, 2021.
Okay.
That's where You Say What came in. That started with me and 2 buddies. Actually, it started with me and 1 buddy, and then the first episode we had him on.
So you guys started the You Say What after you graduated?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was working at...
we also never said what you went to school for.
Oh, I went to school for media communications.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically this shit. But that started with me and my 1 buddy. Me and my 1 buddy, Mike. And then our other buddy, Nate, he wanted to hop in the first episode, but at that time we didn't even have a 3rd microphone.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, sit down. If you want to talk, we'll just pass you the mic. Very low budget. This is a little bit higher budget than what that was.
I don't think you've seen those beginning episodes.
No, probably not. But we had like 19 episodes. We had a solid 19 episode run, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like, I think on my end, I was at that point where I was too obsessed with the pod. Like, I was very anal about...
control issues?
Yeah, but at that time, I didn't realize what I was doing. Like, now, like, with my other projects that I've done, like, I'm way more laid back. Like, I'm not too worried about, like, everyone, like, getting together at a certain point, because it was getting bad.
Yeah.
Like, they were getting, which I understand, they were getting irritated with me because I was like, yo, you got to be consistent. We got to be consistent. We got to keep posting. That's how this thing's going to blow up, which in reality, that is the truth, but I could have said it in a better way. So that ended, and then that's when I waited a couple months after that, and then that's when I started streaming.
Okay.
So after You Say What ended, waited a couple months, started streaming, and then I started working at a music store that sold instruments, and I was there for a couple months. Then my other buddy Mike, decided to start working there. That's how we became friends. And he's an audio engineer. So he went to school for audio. I went to school for visual.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck it. Let's make a podcast.
Like every 2 friends do.
Yeah. So this one, we actually had a niche.
Yeah.
Educated and medicated. It was literally about two guys who had a degree that loved smoking weed.
Yeah.
So we would just get on there, get blazed. We would get absolutely blazed.
Which I think it's so funny when we talk about your past life and my past life. Like, Josh did a lot of weed and, like, smoking, and I've never done drugs.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
Like,
so we would get blasted. We would get so blasted that we almost couldn't record episodes.
oh my gosh.
And then after that, we would make music.
I remember you telling me that.
We released 1 song. It's called Kiss Trip.
It's on SoundCloud.
It's on the Educated and Medicated SoundCloud. Oh no, it's not on. It's on my buddy's. It's on Mike's
Yeah.
SoundCloud. It's on Outsider.
You can get on YouTube too, can't you?
Oh, it's on our YouTube.
Yeah.
It's on our YouTube. So if you ever want to check something out that's kind of cool, the song's all right. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not bad. You go to Educated and Medicated. It's probably will be the first thing you see because it's the shortest video. So it's probably the first thing everyone's going to watch. But that didn't run for that long. Maybe like 6 or 8 episodes.
No, you said it wasn't like your favorite, and he lived a little far, didn't he?
He moved.
Okay.
So he actually lived by where I work now.
Okay.
So he lived out there, but then he moved. I left the music store. I was working by him, and it would always be like a last minute thing, and I hated having to drive home to drive right back out to where I work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, plan it. Plan a day. I'm going to come out. I'm going to shower at your place. And that never happened. So I still had to go home and drive back out. We did that once or twice maybe, or maybe just once. And we just got so trashed. We went to the bar, and because at that time I had to stop smoking because of the job I had and all that stuff.
He was at a scaffolding yard.
Yeah, I worked at a scaffolding yard. Had to get all cleaned up my life for a decent amount. And then that was pretty much it on the Educated and Medicated chapter. It was short-lived. It was fun. We had a lot of fun, like fucking around with the music.
Yeah.
And I bought a periodic table of elements of like weed strains that we would have a strain of the week. Like we pick out a strain on the table.
I watched 1 or 2 episodes.
They weren't bad.
They weren't bad. It's just not my type of content either.
No, and would I love to have him on too? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I love to have him back on the pod for an episode or a reoccurring maybe. Get him back in. And then once I started working at my old job, I actually went back to this job. So before the music store, I worked at this place, the scaffolding place. Then I went back because the money. I just needed money. Wasn't making much.
Which you went to the music store for your degree. Like that was
because
it
was
kind of correlated with your degree.
It kind of did, yeah. I was taking pictures and shit.
Yeah.
But so I went there, I went back, and then I started the week of Christmas of 2022. 22.
Yeah, because, a couple months later.
Yeah, and then 3 months later I met you.
Mm-hmm. How do we meet, babe?
Bumble. Fucking Bumble.
I messaged first, obviously, because it's Bumble.
That's right.
First, so Josh had
She thought I was a fuckboy.
He was. Don't get me wrong.
I was back in the day.
His pictures were too. But he had...
I was a fiend.
Stop.
I was called the fiend in the bowling community. I was a fiend.
But you had You Say What pictures, or one picture of you on You Say What on your Bumble. Because I remember the first message I sent you was, hey, can I get on the podcast?
Yeah. I'm like, that podcast don't exist no more.
No, actually, he said, yeah, of course. I'm so down for that. I did not find out you'd stop making that podcast till like 3 days later when we FaceTimed.
I'm like, that podcast is done.
Yeah.
Like, that podcast you want to get on? Yeah, that don't exist no more.
But basically, we met that night, and then if you want to say the story, you can.
The exact story?
No, we met that night. We talked. You had bowling the next day.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, I need to meet this chick. She's cool. And I'm like, oh, well, tomorrow.
We FaceTimed.
We FaceTimed like the second night.
For like 3 hours.
For 3 hours. But before that, this one, it's so weird how it becomes full circle because
Well, we realized that we knew the same people.
We knew the same people and we had the
community.
same kind of hobbies.
Yeah.
So like, she grew up bowling. I bowled. So as soon as I said I bowled, she was like, oh, I bowl too. I'm like, no fucking way. The odds of me fucking grabbing a bowler.
And then you said Kevin's name, and I knew Kevin.
Oh, Kevin McCune?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get him on the pod too.
Yeah. Shout out Kevin.
Yeah, shout out Kev.
You and Leanna, love you.
Yeah, I've known him for years. and a couple other people like that that we
Yeah, I
don't
don't
have to
remember what you
we
said,
don't have to
but
name.
yeah.
I know a lot of people that bowled for like around this area.
Yeah, we knew the same people, which was
Yeah.
crazy because our paths never crossed throughout the years.
Which is nuts because I bowled out here.
Yeah, and
I've
never
bowled plenty of
crossed
tournaments
paths.
out here.
Yeah.
And then took her to some sushi for the first date.
Okay, can I go back? We FaceTimed. This man, it's Sunday. Okay, Sunday we FaceTime. He says, I won't be able to see you until next Friday. I said, okay, no problem. I'm totally down for that because I was going to a concert that week.
Can I explain why I said that?
No.
Because I didn't realize how close you lived to me until I put it in my gyps.
Basically, the next day on Monday, he said, actually, can we hang out tomorrow? And we had our first date 3 days after we matched.
Hey, we got sushi. We had a good time.
It was.
We watched the perfect match.
We did, which actually the new season is out.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it. We're watching that after this episode. But we just hit off. It's so weird because it's gonna sound like I'm crazy.
Okay.
It's going to sound like I'm crazy.
Okay.
I knew after, I say a week, probably not even. And I'm like, oh fuck, my life's over. Like she's taking me, and then because I haven't felt, and trust me, it's gonna sound so bad. Just cover your ears. Actually, you can't.
I can't.
I've been with a lot of girls.
I know.
Was a man.
I don't know why he told me to cover my ears. Like I don't know.
I've been a man. I was a man hoe. I was a man whore. I was a whore. Something felt really different about this one.
We our first date after we watched The Perfect Match, we went and got ice cream.
We got ice cream
We sat
too.
in the car and talked for like 2 hours about like
life.
Future.
Yeah.
Like
and
what we want in our future.
Jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
Fuck. There's only Pepsi upstairs. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's really cool that I found like my person. And it was so weird timing because you were out of relationship like 3 months prior.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a long relationship. That was 4 years.
Yeah, almost 5.
I don't think I dated someone, so I never had like a true real relationship since that one my sophomore year of college. So it's been like,
which I think that's why we talked for about a month before we started dating.
Yeah.
Which I think is why we did that, because I just got out of a super long relationship and you've never been in a super long one. And I was terrified.
I mean, I've been in a super long, or not like a super, super long, 1.5 years.
But I was terrified of, because I didn't want a relationship.
Neither did I.
He wanted a relationship a weekend.
Well, not going in.
But I didn't want a relationship, and Josh said he would wait. And then I think I realized that you actually did want the same goals that I did.
Yep.
And
I'm a family man.
We've been dating a year and a couple months now.
What's the date today? Is it June? This would be.
Yeah, it's June 7th.
You just say almost a year and 3 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
Something like that. I don't know. So it's close. It's close. But yeah, it really rocked my world. So that's why the podcast is here. She's got the space, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this. Ask her folks.
He asked my mom. My mom said yes.
Yeah.
My dad just says yes to whatever my mom does, so.
That's true. But it was just really cool, and it's awesome to see someone that's almost like me. You're not exactly like me.
No.
But I call it what is it, twin flame?
Yeah.
Twin flame and soulmate all put on one. So we're basically MGK and
no, don't say that because they're not
Megan
together
Fox.
and they were toxic.
I thought they were.
I don't think they're together anymore.
For real?
I don't think so.
I'll have to fact check that.
Okay, I really don't think so though.
I thought they were.
I don't think so.
I thought she said it was complicated, but that's Avril Lavigne.
Stop it.
That was good. No, but life is really from January of 2023 till now. It's so weird how my life has changed.
We started dating in March of 2023.
Yeah. So literally
but we met in February of 2023.
Within this year and a half, I feel like I've completely changed as a person. Like is a good thing, like a
yeah.
good way. Not like I'm not like I completely changed who I am. Like no, I'm still me, but my motives and what I want to get done and my goals, they've changed.
You took a break from social media when we first started dating, which I did not ask him to.
Yeah, because I stopped streaming.
I'm the reason he started doing social media again, because I told him you need to do it.
Yeah,
Because he's good at it. He's good in front of the camera.
It was either I play video games or get.
I can't with you.
That was good.
But we back to manga.
Oh, we're okay. Yeah,
Because that's when we first started. I'm a book girl.
That was our first like bonding experience.
I'm a book girl. I love to read, and Josh was like, I don't really read, but he wanted to have reading dates with me so I could read while I was with him. So he started reading manga for me, which was very, very sweet.
And I ended up like really liking it. So, I already kind of went in on an episode with manga, but we could talk about it more. Yeah, basically, like I was like, oh, I want to read these to see if I like them because I like comics. Like, I'm a comic book nerd. Like growing up, all I wore was superhero graphic tees with the logos.
Still does.
I don't wear them that often anymore. I only have like 2 or 3.
I bought you one of them.
Which one?
Keep going.
But yeah, it was pretty cool to get into that. It gave me like a release, and it gave me something to do rather than being on my phone or bullshitting, like not getting anything done.
I feel like it jump-started your brain again for like
creativity.
Yeah,
because it made me want to do more, and that's when I'm like, I need to get out of this job. So I worked at the scaffold yard for a year, pretty much almost to the date. And same thing at the music store too. I worked for a year almost exactly for both of them. And I started working for Dan. You guys know Dan. He's been on the podcast.
I'm the one that sent you the job.
She's the one who sent me the job application. So she's the person that I got to thank for all that. So I started working there, and then I'm like, you know what? I want to start something up again. Like, I need to be creative. I'm doing this at work. Like, I need to... I need to release this pumped up creativity. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm like, well, I don't really have time to do these scripted videos like I used to. And I'm like, I don't want to put all this time and effort in them if I'm really shadow banned from TikTok, which I think I am. So I'm like, what's something I love doing that I haven't done in a long time that if I really dive deep, they could be really good?
Well, you started drawing total drama characters.
Yeah, so that Christmas, I asked for Posca markers, the paint markers.
My grandma got him them.
And I'm like, oh, I could do this with it, or that with it, or this. And then I'm scrolling on TikTok. I'm looking at different art stuff because I started just drawing total drama and like superheroes, but I wasn't recording them. I wanted to like test it out and see how the markers were and all that stuff.
They look really good. They're on your wall.
They look fucking dope. Like the
Insert
Joker
picture.
Batman. The Joker Batman.
That one's really good.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I decided, you know what? Let's try something. And I told myself, no matter what, I'm finishing it. That's why I'm still doing it. I'm like, let's draw some neon signs. At first, I didn't know what type of paper I was going to use and all that shit.
A couple days in a row, we sat down here and we had in-depth conversations about what you wanted to do to start again.
Yeah, and that's basically how I came up with the idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like drawing. I've been drawing more. There's a reason why I want a whole bunch of art stuff for Christmas. And then the first video started, and you could tell, like, if you go to my TikTok page, you could tell that it evolved.
Yeah.
Like a Pokemon. It actually fucking evolved. Like, it went from me using a different color paper to coloring an all black piece of paper to drawing it then, and then transitioning it to, I tried a different paper for a couple episodes, didn't work, then I tried a different paper and it worked, and that's the paper I've been using ever since. just a thick black sketch paper. And basically, I draw it because sometimes you can't tell. Like, people all the time are asking me, like, you trace that shit. I'm like, no, I don't. I look at a picture, I draw it in pencil first, and then I go over it with the markers.
Trust me, I know. I see him do it.
And I have 13 or 12 left or something like that.
I feel like the more days that went on, the more confident you got in your skills with it.
Yeah, like now I could pump it out like nobody's business.
Like 20, 30 minutes and he's done.
Yeah, it's the one thing that takes the longest is actually I have to wait for 2 of the parts in between to have them dry so it doesn't fuck up the white color.
Yeah.
But then eventually it led to me wanting to be in front of the camera because I'm not in front of the camera. No, it's just my hand drawing.
Which I feel like you shine in front of the camera. You have the personality.
Well, it's just what I've been doing. Like I kind of always wanted to kind of act, but now like as I'm growing up, I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to be like a producer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like I almost want to be like a Seth Rogen where I'm producing and in shit.
Yeah.
So, I was like, you know what? Let's make another podcast. I've had this name for the podcast in my head for years. I've had it ever since Educated and Medicated ended. I'm like, how is this still out there? I have, except for TikTok, I have all the handles. And on TikTok, I have Every Inch Counts podcast.
Yeah.
On any other handle, it's the full regular name, which I don't understand because the name feels like it's not like a unique name.
But it's just, I feel like when things happen like that, like it's
meant
shown,
to be.
Yeah, meant to be.
So I wanted that from the start, and then I had someone on with me. You guys seen the videos. That's who I started it with, but at the same time, I was taking control. I did everything. And then I kind of realized, like, yo, I want to make this more personable. I want to make it more one-on-one or with a guest, me and a guest, or me and 2 guests at the same time that correlate with each other, or just stuff like that.
You didn't make the decision lightly before anyone says anything. He sat down here with me after shooting an episode one time, and he was so stressed it took me at least an hour to get out of him what was wrong.
Yeah, my vision for this pod is astronomical, and it took a lot of time to figure out what I wanted, and I wanted it to change before this podcast was known for something else.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a double entendre. Every inch counts. You know, I look at it more as the motivational side, but at the same time, I take those small jab jokes and like, we get deep, like stuff like that, because it's funny, because it makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like you're putting a platform out there for people to say their story. Yeah.
So literally, like, and I'm asking anyone to be on this thing. Like, it does. I don't even have to know you. I'm trying to get people on here to have conversations with people, tell their story, interesting stuff that happened in their life, shitty things that happen in their life that they're open to sharing.
That doesn't mean everyone in anything, because we need approval. It is not.
Yeah, I need approval.
Household.
Yeah, I need approval from the in-laws. But for the most part, they're pretty chill.
Yeah. Most part. I'm gonna tell him you said that.
They're pretty chill. So that's my vision. I want it's every inch counts. It's how many inches did you take to get to where you are, and how many inches are you taking to get to where you want to be? Mm-hmm. That's really what I want this show to be about. Yeah. And I feel like the only way that was possible was the one-on-one communication.
Yeah. More personable.
Yeah, and it's weird that you're sitting in my seat.
It's just weird for one episode.
It's weird that I'm the guest.
It's one episode. And you love to talk, babe.
I do. But
don't act like you didn't have fun.
I did. This was actually really fun. But Oh, Jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
Oh, Jinx.
Jinx.
You owe
No,
me a... What?
What
No.
is it?
This is you're hosting.
I know. You keep talking.
I'm sorry.
What do you think you will do in the future that will continue to make you happy and not burnt out? Because you've been burnt out before.
Balance.
Okay.
I think I've learned the balance from now on. I mean, of course, I'm gonna have to grind for guests and get people on, but like I said, I'm gonna put the email in the description. So email me if you want to get on.
Also, his YouTube channel's linked below.
I gotta. They're not even updated. I still got the year 2021 on my banner.
Oh, that's totally fine. Leave it. Let them see it.
I have to
Leave
change
it
that.
and let them see it.
I have to change
if
that.
it's changed, comment on his videos. You changed it.
But yeah, email me. I'm gonna put the email in the description. It doesn't. I'm gonna have to figure it out a little bit, but we could do video chat. We could do in person. This is mobile, so if you're within the area, I would say I could drive
within the
to
Northwest Indiana area
or Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
I could drive wherever. Plan a day. You know, I still work a normal job like everyone else, so it's not like this is full time for me, but eventually I'm hoping it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, just reach out. If you want to get on, just reach out and we could talk about it, and I'm open for anything. Like I had a couple people message me today or this week talking about it. It didn't go through for this week, but there's a couple interesting stories.
I wanted the people watching to know who you are.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm the coolest motherfucker in the world.
okay. There's the cocky man I know.
Yep.
The ego.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about future for social media or?
No, I'm just gonna keep consistent.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try to keep consistent. I really don't know what's gonna happen with my TikTok after these Pokemon videos. But other than that, just my main focus is honestly this.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I want to get back into streaming at some point, even if it's just me hanging out. Like,
if you have games you want him to stream, comment them down below.
Yeah, I'm down to play a whole bunch of games, new games, old games. I'll have to figure out how to play the old games on stream, but I could do all that stuff. But I just want to make content. Like that's just my bread and butter, my cup of tea. I love entertaining. I love putting smiles on people's faces. I love moving people, and I'm just inching my way there.
Every inch counts.
Every inch counts.
Well, that was this episode, everybody. So everyone say, good job, Josh, in the comments, please, because he was nervous to let me take over. He asked me about 3 times this week if I've made an outline. Be like, I was going to wing it. But he'll see you next week in my chair, and someone else will be in his.
Actually, I'll see you next week in my chair.
All right, everybody. Every inch counts. Don't forget, like and comment.
And subscribe. Peace.
Peace.